Are crossdressers considered trans? Let's dissect. Hi lovers and femmes, it's me, Ramada the Femme, and welcome to my channel. For a long time now, I consider myself a crossdresser, just for the mere fact that I'm biologically male that dresses in the opposite sex clothing. Women's clothing, because literally that's the definition of cross-dressing. The main difference between a crossdresser and a transgender person is that a crossdresser still identifies with their birth gender, where a trans person does not. I would actually consider myself as part of the trans spectrum. When it comes to the media and trans people, they usually represent the trans folks who have already fully transitioned, meaning they've had the hormones and the surgeries and the therapy, and they are usually quite passable. And now I would actually consider these trans folks on one extreme side of the trans spectrum. Now when I think about myself, I wouldn't put myself on that side of the spectrum, obviously, because I haven't had any surgeries or had any hormones. I'm kind of like in the middle. And the thing is, there's a whole spectrum of folks who are similar to me, or folks that are just starting out, that are still learning about themselves and wondering what are the necessary steps to take for them to feel like their best and authentic self. Even the folks that fully know that they want to do all the transitions and have all the work done, some of them don't have the access or the financial stability to achieve all of these things. So does that mean that they are less valid? No. Does that mean that they are less trans? No. To be clear, I hate the transgender gatekeepers who say that, oh, well, you're not trans until you do A, B, and C and have this work done and this work done. Until then you are trans. I can't stand these people. And these trans folks seems to be the loudest ones on social media, on TikTok, because who are you to judge? And who are you to say, oh, you're not valid, you're not trans, until you look like me? That's what they're really saying. It's like they have this superiority complex, thinking that they're so passable, they pass as cisgender, and they almost look down at the rest of the trans folks who just don't have the same privileges that they do. And oh my god, I cannot stand these people. I literally, like, every time one pops up on my For You page, I'm just like, why are you showing up? And it's because they're the most vocal ones, and they're the ones that are the most annoying. Many folks start out cross-dressing, and through the act of cross-dressing, they may realize later down the road that they are in fact trans. You hear this a lot with drag queens as well. A lot of the RuPaul's Drag Race queens, like Laganja Estranja, Gia Gunn, Sasha Kobe, like a lot of these queens are coming out as trans, or they're showing up onto the show already fully trans, which I love. But what I'm trying to say is that when you listen to a lot of their stories, they say that through performing and dolling up and doing the art of drag, it helps them realize their actual gender identity. I relate to this so hard because that's kind of how it started off for me too. And it's really interesting with them because a lot of them say that at the end of the show and at the end of their performance, they don't want to take off the costume anymore. They don't want to take off their women's clothes and the makeup. They don't want it because that's how they see themselves. You know, that's who they feel most comfortable as, and that's truly who they are. And I think that's why cross-dressing and the art of drag is an amazing gateway for a lot of trans folks. But of course, that's not to say that that's gonna turn you trans. No, again, a lot of cross-dressers don't identify as trans. Like, they actually would just say that they are still a man and a male, and they just do it for fun behind closed doors. It might just be like a fetish for them. Some, they just like women's clothes better. Whatever the reason is, honestly, it's valid. And there's nothing wrong with it either. Like, you can express yourself however way you want to express yourself, and that's totally valid. I think whatever makes you feel best about yourself, whatever makes you the happiest, wear that. Wear that jewelry, wear those rings, wear that wig, wear that dress. Whatever it is that makes you feel best like your authentic self, do that. And this is where the separation for me happens, because I feel like I'm beyond those things now. Like, I'm 80% socially transitioned. Like, I always show up as Ramada now. I present socially as Ramada, I date as Ramada, and I just feel like now it's kind of seeping into everything in my life, because when I present like this, when I look at myself in the mirror like this, I feel my best. I feel my most powerful, I feel my most beautiful, I feel most like, oh my god, it like aligns, you know? Like how I view myself versus like, oh, this is actually how I've seen myself for such a long time. And I think for forever, you know, there's like a weird self-acceptance issue, a weird kind of denial that you have. And I know this coming just as like a queer kid, you know, coming out as gay. But now that I have grown up and I hang out with like my gay boyfriends, there's such a separation between us in the sense that they want to express themselves as a man and like I don't. And that's where our differences come into play. And that's what I've realized over the years. They don't see themselves as a woman, they don't express themselves as a woman, they don't want to present as a woman. They're fully okay just being a gay boy. Where for me, I'm like, no, there's such a separation with that. And that's when I started to really, you know, lock into my transness. And to be quite honest, the more Ramada I am, the happier I am, you know? I just feel my most confident and best self as Ramada. And truthfully, now that I'm getting older, I just want that to seep into and bleed into everything that I do, you know? Because I don't want to waste any more time. And I feel like I've already wasted so much of it that I just don't want to waste any more of it here on out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know I haven't been on YouTube too much with the uploads. I think sometimes it's just good to take a little social media break every now and then, but I feel rejuvenated and energized to post more content, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So I appreciate all of your support. Make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Leave me a comment down below if you relate to any of this, and hopefully I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys. Mwah, mwah.